I'm
learning.
I was like, I wanted to do something really cool too. I wanted to do something like, like fizzling in the background, but that's not an option.
Well, maybe you could suggest it to them.
I could turn into a different career and then be like, hey, I'm gonna create this just because. Someone texted, am I late? No. Brandy texted. She said, am I late? No, you are not late. What is that thing in Princess Diaries? She's like, I'm never late. Everyone's just early. I'm always on time.
I haven't seen that. But yeah. I get it.
All right.
All right, let me share out.
Okay. Let me pin this comment and then I can share it out. Hello, everyone coming in. Welcome. Happy New Year. We're very happy that you're here. Those are very loud notifications.
Yeah, I got a new sort of bottom bit on my phone because my charging port was playing up, and I think that's sorted out. I think there must have been something wrong with my speaker, or the the little speaker bit on the bottom of the phone as well, because I noticed that all the notifications are louder than I remember them to be. So.
Well, I should get whatever that is. My phone doesn't give that loud notification. Shit.
So, but yeah, I just have to make do with it. But I think that's the microphone as well. So it might mean that the recordings I do are better quality too. So
probably that's what I'm saying. I probably need to get something to amp up mine. Let's see. Hello, Paul. Hello. Hi, Brandy. Anyone who's coming on, we would greatly appreciate it if you could share the live out to whatever groups or whatever pages you have. Brandy says, you look beautiful. Love the hair. Is it me or Jimmie? Because both of us have hair.
Hey, Paul. How you doing, brother? Hey, Brandy. Hey, Letitia.
Thank you, Brandy. We appreciate it. Hi, Letitia. Everyone, again, Happy New Year. Welcome. We're gonna do readings and healings today. I also have cards on board. Hi, Kat. Welcome. We already have three people who donated. Their names are going across the banner at the bottom. So we got Brandy first, then Kat, and then Leticia. It's open donations. So whatever you feel like doing today is whatever it is. Brandy says both of you, Jimmie.
Oh, thank you, Brandy.
Thank you, Brandy. Ooh. Our cards are like flying over the place. Okay. All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever anyone's at.
All right. Get charged up.
Thank you for sharing, Brandy. Sorry, Jimmie, what was that?
I was just getting charged up.
Yay.
So we've got Kat, Brandy, and Brandy, Kat, and Letitia. Okay. Lovely.
I believe Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I feel like we're talking over each other.
There might be a delay, but I was going to say you're on. We're going on your YouTube as well, are we? Excellent.
Yes. That's why I also asked you like if we could do it on this so I can put it on my YouTube page, because I was struggling to find the little thing that like lets you drag the video off and stuff, and I was like, this is too much work.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Miranda.
Thank you, Miranda. Let me put your name on the list as well. Anyone coming on, please go ahead and share out.
Right. Excellent. So, Brandy, is there anything in particular, Brandy, that you would like us to have a look at, or got a question or anything like that, or just whatever comes through? And also, Kat and Letitia, same applies to you and Miranda. So let us know, and we'll keep make a note.
So Brandy, first thing that comes off with angels coming off to the forefront. Um, uh, there's some energies that we want to get rid of. Michael stepping forward already. He's like handing the sword like this. So we're gonna work on first cutting some of those energies out of your field. You have lots. There's like a huge thing like this, and someone's plugged into your energy. It feels like someone's like watching you, keeping tabs on you. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on sending those energies gently and easily back home because they're way too close in your energetic field. It's probably why you've been feeling really tired or drained recently, and you probably are like, oh, it's Mercury retrograde, or maybe you're like, I don't know if you're like looking at your phone for text messages, but turn me a phone with text messages. Uh, um, and so we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna work on that first, and then I'll let Jimmie say whatever he needs to say, and I'll come back.
Okay, cool. Lovely. Right, Brandy. Well, the first thing that came through was about sacrificing, and about sacrificing. Hi, Josh. The first thing that I got was like, what are you doing for others that you don't necessarily need to do and that they can do for themselves? And there's no one that I'm not getting anyone in particular, but just something to be aware of, because like the theme or the issue of sacrificing your own, health or happiness came through. And because I'm feeling like, I know, Bryce, you said about energies that you've got that could do with going. Because I'm seeing that to a degree as well, and it's like specifically kind of on your back, like your upper back, like where your shoulders are. It feels like there's a heaviness up there. And
thank you for sharing, Bev. Thank you for joining us, Josh. Happy New Year.
Oh, hey, Bev. And that's not to say there's anything wrong. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with doing things for other people. But obviously, there, shall we say, could do with being a good balance between what you do for others and looking after yourself. I think a lot of people struggle with that, me being one of them. And because we just want to give and give and give, and sometimes we forget about ourselves. And sometimes, obviously, we just need a reminder about that, because we can get too caught up in wanting to help other people, which is a beautiful thing. And if we all helped each other, then think about what a beautiful place the world would be. But at the same time, obviously, we are one of those people, and we need to give to ourselves too. So it's just a sort of I don't know, a little nudge in your direction, just to be aware of that. And
thank you for sharing, Josh. Thank you. I felt all the dragons coming, friend.
Hey, Jonathan.
So
I want to. I'd like to just do a little bit of work on like the top of your back, like just below your neck and your shoulders. And then I'll pass it. While I do that, I'll pass it back over to Vaishu, and she can relay what she's been doing.
Sounds good. Okay. So Brandy, I don't know if you've been having any kind of right knee pain. They're giving me some pain over here in your right temporal area. So we're gonna release that. It's like some kind of chakras on your right side. So I'm feeling a lot of right-sided pressure. So it's related to anything in the future going forward. So it's like a very uncertain. Where am I going next? What am I doing? Do I need to belong here? What is the point of this? There's no point. Everything shitty always happens. Like a very kind of that kind of energy. It also feels like we're clearing all those people from your energy. And some of those people. So there's also, I don't know if someone in your friend, family, near, old, recently or long ago has passed away. That's like an older man or something. He needed to be passed on. He's been hitchhiking on you. He hasn't been passed on, and I don't know, for some reason he seems to think that he hitched. Oh, okay. He was hitchhiking on you. So we're gonna go ahead and send him over to the other side. He is ready. We're gonna send him over to the other side. And I'm gonna work on. I don't know if you have any right knee pain. I'm gonna work on that as well. And your throat, they're saying you need to tell. They're saying you need to tell more people to f off. So they're saying like more of a boundaries thing where sometimes you let people overstep too many times on the basis of you being kind-hearted and open and welcoming and just the general empath light worker. So I don't know, Brandy. He just looks like an older male, probably maybe. And I say older as in like not old, but like he has like white. He maybe somewhere, I don't know, 50s, 60s. I don't know. I don't know. He's being transitioned right now as we speak. So he's leaving your energetic field right now. You should feel something lift off your chest area. Like if there's been a heaviness, like a weight on your chest, it's being lifted now. Sometimes whenever we walk through areas too, old haunted places, and we don't maintain our energetic boundaries, we pick up things off of old areas. If we go to museums, if we go to ball games, if we go to any place, we pick up energies off, and they like cling on to us sometimes because they're like, oh, these people can help me over. So that's kind of what it is. They hitchhike. God's not. I don't think God gives a shit about people who, like. I mean, let me tell you, God is a lot more. God, source, whoever you want to believe in. From my perspective, you felt that in your chest. Yay! I'm happy. And it was partially Jimmie's heart healing as well. He was doing the heart healing in the back. He was opening up your heart space. Yeah, I wouldn't be so concerned about God, universe / source, whatever being mad. I think people give us that perception in the sense of like we need to have boundaries. The only way we can help other people is if we help ourselves. We can heal other people if we heal ourselves. We can teach other people boundaries if we maintain or exercise boundaries ourselves. So there's a difference between boundaries and being mean to people. There is a difference.
Yeah, if someone's continually crossing your boundaries and encroaching, then I think you have every right to tell them to go away. Shall we say?
Now we're going to just wrap you in some light and some pink ribbons. They're saying Happy New Year. We've gift wrapped you. We're giving you some gentle guidance coming as well. Kemuel is an angel. Kemuel is an angel. And he's going to be more gentle guidance to kind of teach you. And we're also going to give you an angel for boundaries. So we'll feel like a tap or whatever way you perceive energy. They'll whenever people are overstepping, they'll remind you, hey, hello. So listen to that voice. Also, thank you, Beth, for donating. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Bear. So yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily need to say the words "f off." I mean, like you could do it it's just a sort of in some ways. I guess it's just a sort of an expression. Like you can say it in different ways if you don't feel comfortable literally telling them to fuck off. But obviously there are different ways of saying things, and if it hey France,
Hi, Fred.
if it doesn't sit well with you actually saying those words, then find another way to say it that may be a bit more in tune with how you feel, like with the vocabulary that you use. It's
more of a per my last email. So you can tell someone to fuck off and have boundaries without actually using those words like Jimmie just said. You can say, I don't like that. I don't appreciate the way you are talking to me. That was not okay. Or you just disrespected me. So you can say those in like I just said, very gently, very softly, but also telling people they overstepped.
Yeah. As long as you get the message across, it doesn't really necessarily matter how you say it, I suppose.
All right. That feels complete on my side.
I guess if they continually keep doing it and you get to that point where the only words they'll understand is fuck off, then, you might feel like that's the time, like you might feel like you want to say those two words, those words. So like if you get to that point, but it's up to you.
That's true, Jimmie. Reinstating boundaries. It's very true. So you got this card that jumped out. That is the Ten of Hearts. So lots of Ten of Cups equivalent. Lots of happiness, fulfillment coming in, more soul family coming in, more people you can lean on. So I hope that helps. Hello. Happy New Year. Hi. Happy New Year, Afia. All right.
Marvelous. Thank you, Brandy.
Thank you, Brandy. All right. So next person we have is Kat.
Kat. Okay, Kat. Pardon me.
Happy New Year, France. Happy New Year to everyone watching. Kat's here.
Okay, cool. Right.
Okay, so off the bat, Kat, you have some transformer angels that are upgrading. They're being upgraded right now. You have certain guidance that's being upgraded right now for the live. You're doing lots of energy. They're saying to know your limitations as to like listen to your body. Like they're saying it's great that you're a go-getter and you're like, go, let's go. And you're like, I'm not going to back down and I can do this. I'm not going to this. I'm going to do that. It's a very very powerful solar sacral energy. And I love that. I do that myself. But they're saying know your body's limitations. Like listen to your body when it's saying I'm tired or I need rest or energetically wise. I just see you just going at it, bro. Like I just see you like hitting it, which is great. But at the same time, your body's kind of like, ooh, I need to keep up, or like, whether it's electrolytes, it's like because we all function at like all these higher realms and all these higher things, but like our 3D bodies are like like they're like suppose me and Jimmie are in like Mario Kart, right? We're like going like boom and everything, but like our 3D bodies are like the little toy cars that you roll back and forth, You got to give them time to like catch up. They're saying also don't. They're saying we need to get rid of doubt. So we have a dragon coming in. He's encircling you. He's gonna be encircling you while you're doing your lives against energies that are. Whenever you do live, sometimes you have to do protocol. So whenever I come onto a live, before I come on, I spend a good 30 minutes where I get myself centered. I work on myself. I work on the messages. And I also work on protection. I work on protection not coming through the live. Sometimes when you're trying to help someone, if they have something on them, they'll attack. If they have something that doesn't resonate and they don't know how to control their shadow, that'll come across as an attack. Even your healing or trying to remove something might come across as an attack. People's perceptions and realities are different. So until you know how to handle your own shadow, their own shadow, just like fun jazz like that, especially if you're working with other people, there's just certain factors we need to be aware of, is what they're saying. So we're just going to go upgrade all the guides, going to clear out certain people out of your energy, a lot of people out of your energy, and kind of reinstate your boundaries. And I'm going to level them. I'm going to layer level them like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like the towers. I'm going to do that and let Jimmie talk.
Okay, cool. Peanut butter and jelly is not something we really have in the UK. I think I tried it once and I thought, yeah, this is really nice. Why isn't that a thing over here?
Butter and jelly sandwiches?
Yeah, but I tried it and yeah, I thought this is lovely. Anyway,
Well, if you need anything, Jimmie, if you need peanut butter or jelly from here, I will send it to you.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, France, too foggy and stuffed up today. It can feel like that a little bit. Your sinuses are also kind of. Hello, Allison. Happy New Year.
Hi, Alison. So, Kat, what I felt or was shown, I wanted to say to you that it's okay to start again, and like take that however you wish, but because I feel like there's something, I feel like there's something that maybe either you may have thought about, but
All right, Miranda.
it's like that. It's something that, shall we say, you're going to need to relearn, because they showed me like a bike with training wheels on it, and but obviously there's things that you remember that you can do, but I want to say don't be afraid to start something again, and we may see sort of learning something new or starting again as a backward step, but in reality it's not. Because I mean we can be a bit impatient, obviously. Sometimes I think we can all be like that. I know I can. But we can all be a bit impatient, and we don't necessarily want to have to learn something new, and kind of start from scratch on it, because we want to get on, we want to move forward. But that is moving forward, because how else are we going to learn even unless we start from the beginning? So I just feel like there's something in, I don't know, shall we say, in your awareness, that is kind of offering itself to, whether it be like a new modality or just a new way of life. And we can kind of be bit apprehensive about that, because it feels like it's going to take a lot of work, and that may be the reason why we don't do it, because we think about the work that it's going to take. And obviously in that instance, then it's prudent to just take things one step at a time, as is the case all the time, I suppose. If we just take everything one step at a time, then we don't get caught up in how much work has got to be done or anything like that. It's just a question of doing what needs to be done next, and then just keep doing that until, like, when we've done whatever needs to be done, then do whatever's got to be next. So that was kind of like the message that I wanted to portray. And there's also something about listening and your ears. I feel like I want to do something with your ears, because it's almost like there's some messages to be received or to be heard, yet they're not necessarily being heard. I don't know whether it's kind of clairaudience or something like that, but there is something about your ears that I want to kind of work on, and so I'll do that whilst I pass it back over to Vaishu. So.
I like this. It's like a baton.
Mm.
So you got the 5 of hearts. It's saying something, but they were like talking. They were singing songs in the background. They're like started from the bottom. Now we're here, and then they were just like, she's a runner, she's a track star, and like it's just. Don't let people intimidate you. You had to get rid of some. We had to get rid of some platforms, Kat. it's like people instilling doubt or like trying to decrease your self-confidence or you know what you know, Kat. One of your prayers is very strong knowing, okay? Don't, if you know, it's I doubt myself all the time, sometimes too, with certain things, and I sit with myself. I'm like, okay, what is it that I'm feeling? Is it mine? It's someone else. Is it mine? It's someone else. Does we can't. Sometimes it's ours. The majority of the time, it's a thought form from someone else, or it's projection from someone else, or it's energy from somewhere else. You need to learn to distinguish between yours and someone else's energy. Because I just cleared a bunch of thought forms off of your energetic field, Kat, that are not even yours. It's like trying to decrease it. It's like someone seeing someone as a okay. Are they in competition with me? Like, is this person a threat? Like, should I be like, this person's kind of like, like it's kind of ostracizing kind of energy. You just have to come across a little bit softer, but hold your ground. Is whenever you say yes, no, maybe it's a little too cutthroat, and maybe it's in your field. You feel like that's the way you need to be to get your message across. But sometimes honey works better. They're saying, so say what you need to say, but in a different way because it's just you don't want to headbutt with certain people. Certain instances, yes, you have to go play head to head, but some of them you can maneuver and go around and use honey and just say, hey, yeah, that's okay, and kind of go around it instead of going head to head with every single thing. It's very draining on your energy. So that should help. And just sit and just kind of distinguish mine, not mine, mine, not mine. She says, Jimmie, you're spot on. Getting back into law enforcement, new modality, communicating with people,
Cool.
their audience, and channeling with the public.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds great. So I did do a little bit of work, obviously, on your ears. Kind of felt almost like spirals or whirlwinds sort of around them, as if they were kind of self-cleaning or something like that, in a way. So yeah, that should hopefully help with that.
Yeah, that feels good now. Your field feels a little bit better. You should be able to breathe a little easier now. I put a shape in your field. It's gonna be kind of working with you. It's gonna be if you see something like going around that looks like a star, a golden star, it's okay. Don't get scared. It's just something I put in the field. We'll move really quickly, so don't be like, oh god. It's just gonna be there for a few days. It's gonna keep doing my work we asked it to do.
Golden stars always good, aren't they?
Well, sometimes the sacred geometry shapes, like they're alive, right? They have their own like, personalities, and they're not just like non-living entities. So sometimes they act or they interact with us like in our faces like this. So sometimes it comes across as scary because we don't know what they are. Because some of our guides don't do that.
Yeah.
You are very welcome, Kat. Thank you so much for being here. Happy New
You're
Year.
welcome, Kat. Indeed. So, we're on Letitia.
Yes, we have Letitia.
Letitia, hello. I think she's here because she commented a few minutes ago, so saying how amazing Kat is.
Yes, Kat is very amazing. Letitia, is there something you want to ask us, Letitia?
Excuse me. I'm not tired or bored, by the way.
I was like, Jimmie's yawning.
Well, she knows about my yawning, but just in case of those who don't, it's just I'm not tired or bored. It's just, I think in some ways it's reminding us to breathe a bit deeper and stop shallow breathing, because I know it can signify releasing energy as well, yawning. But I feel like also it's almost like the body's way of saying, you gotta breathe, man, you gotta breathe, like breathe deeper, because like shallow breathing, we're not getting enough air, and like we all shallow breathe, I guess. But I say all, I don't want to say everyone, but some of us shallow breathe.
Thank you for the reminder.
And I think yawning is a way of the body saying, I need more air. So it could be that, but it's mainly if especially if I'm doing a live, I'd always yawn during lives, and there's some healing to be done or some energy work needs to be done, then I'll yawn because I'll like when I connect with their energy, it feels like something that could do with being sort of released or worked on, and the yawn is kind of like I guess a pointer to that.
Yeah, it shifts the energy.
Mm.
So does burping. So does farting.
Mm. Yeah, totally. I mean, and yawns kind of feel really good as well, don't they? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know.
Depends. I feel like you have to do this for that yawn. There you go.
Oh, there we go.
There
Right
you
on
go.
cue.
Perfect demonstration from Jimmie here.
Was that the power of suggestion?
Yes, the power of suggestion works here. Letitia. So we have some one of your guides. He's like he looks like whenever they look like this, I reminds me of Lemuria. Where they look like Aquaman or mer people. Whenever I see that, it reminds me either of Atlantis or okay. Uh, all right, they're just showing me like 100 different past lives at once. So we have some like Atlantis past lives. I don't know if you've been feeling it's like halfway stuck. I don't know if you've been feeling sad or weepy or feeling like you want to cry and you don't know what if you can cry, or you're like, I'm just a strong independent person that doesn't need to cry, I got this, or I don't know, whatever that is. But it feels like your emotional body's been kind of beat up a little bit, so I'm gonna kind of like rebuild whatever damage was to a certain degree, rebuild whatever damage was done to that poor little body, and kind of help you pull in those past lives that you've been trying to pull in from Atlantis and Lemuria. Several past lives from Atlantis and Lemuria. So I'm just going to help you gently and easily bring them in. And you're going to suddenly feel some pressure on your head. Just relax. I'm just going to help you. And we're going to remove the shadow from those past lives. So I'm going to remove the shadow and the pain from those past lives and bring them in with only light while Jimmie does his thing.
Okay, thank you. Cool. Right, Letitia. I feel like first of all, I saw a wheel, and the wheel had lots of spokes. I feel like there's, shall we say, a lot of different strings to your bow, and it's kind of about, I guess, in essence, it's kind of about flow and not feeling like you have to do 100 different things at once, because you have many different, let's say, strings or spokes in your wheel that you can call upon. You have many different abilities, gifts, whatever you like to call them, many different things you can do, and it's a question of you don't need to do them all at the same time. So I guess what they're saying, or what I'm saying, shall we say, is to kind of take some time to just relax and chill, and maybe not be so hectic, and not feel as if you need to be doing something all the time, and that you need to juggle and keep all the plates in the air or the balls in the air, and because I feel like this will help, shall we say, the wheel to roll a bit better, rather than kind of like, because the wheel feels a bit it's still moving, obviously, because I feel like we're always moving forward. Being stuck or going backwards is kind of just a perception, in a sense, that we put on when we need to rest, and take stock of certain things, or just allow our body or our mind to have a break. And So I guess what I'm saying is to just take it easy if you can. I mean, obviously, it depends what kind of environment or life that you have, and I don't know what kind of a life you have. Obviously, if with children or work wise or whatever, but bless you. But I feel like if you can, then to maybe just put a few things on the back burner and just focus on maybe one or two or three, like the most prioritize. I guess that's what the message is. Priorities. We don't have to have everything as a number one priority, and I feel like it will enable you to feel like you're flowing a lot better. That things become easier, and you're able to do more things with grace and ease rather than feel like you're rushing all over the place and doing you're here, there, and everywhere. So, and I feel like it will free up space or free up your mind, free up some space in your thoughts, and your thoughts won't feel like they're so congealed and they're sort of melding into each other, and it's like you better not forget about that because you got this and then you got that to do and you got this to do, and they're kind of overlapping, and it's sort of causing confusion. But let's have a look. I don't know why. I'll find out in a minute, but I feel like I want to do some work on your jaw for some reason. I don't know why.
She had an energy, Jimmie. She had an energy that's been with her for several past lives that I was just working on while you were working on something else. It held her by the back of the neck, and she's been contracted with this energy for past lives, and the energies. I think the contract is now ended or done, so the energy has just asked to be sent back to wherever it was from.
Okay.
So now it's being released from it holding onto her neck.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry. That makes sense. And I'll do some work on like you did because you just sorted out the back. I feel like I want to do something to the front, like her jaw. There feels like there's what I've just been shown is that like our teeth are connected to our brain. Like there's nerves that go to our brain. It's like our brain is pretty much connected. Well, our brain is connected to everything. And there's even like reflexology of the teeth, like as there is of the hands and the feet and the eyes and stuff like that. But because it feels like I want to do some work with regards to just do some energy work with regards to that connection from the teeth to the brain, and then the sort of the what that pertains to. So I'll do that, and I'll let you go, Baishu.
Yeah, we just got rid of some contractual things that you needed to be tidied up. We just looked at your records. Some of the stuff that could be tidied up have been tidied up. Some of the soul contracts that are no longer for your highest good will now be resolved, as long as you let them go gently, easily, and peacefully. Just keep in mind, even though we get rid of them, if you choose not to let them go, you're restarting a new contract with them. So so just remember that you whenever it's time for something or someone or an energy to leave our life, we say thank you for being here. It's thundering as I'm speaking. Thank you for being here. That means it's a clearing that's happening. Whenever there's thunderstorms and lightning and rains, clearings. So let them go gently, easily, and peacefully from your life. And welcome the new people that come in. For only when the space is emptied, that only new people can come in. You can't stack more people on more people, right? So the time for their time in your lifetime has been finished. Now you respect that and move on. I see wonderful things coming in for you. New people coming in, more healthier people, more healthier relationships coming in for you. People maybe I don't know. I'm seeing like a younger male also. So I'm just lots of good things coming. Just let the old people go. Sometimes there are habits where we might want to turn back to someone that we've tried to let go of, and then they try to come back, or we maybe drunk dial them, or get drunk and text someone, or even if you don't drink, something of the thing where you bump into them and we're like, oh no, how are you? And then it turns out into a full-blown conversation, and that doesn't need to happen, or a toxic family member, whatever that looks like for you. Just let them go. That's the strong message that I'm getting.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I felt like when I was doing the work, the connections or the nerves, whatever you like to call them, from your teeth, they were going green and yellow, and that doesn't mean they're moldy or anything like that, or they're rotten. But it was just a significance with regards to they're kind of connected to your heart space and your solar plexus. So maybe, I don't know if you're into sound healing or anything like that, but listen, or any kind of healing, sort of energy or sound healing, to specifically concentrate on, just for the time being. I mean, you don't you'll feel as to when you don't need to kind of do it anymore, but like listen to stuff, or like whether it's crystals or what have you, but that concentrates specifically on the heart and the solar plexus, because I feel like there's some I guess some information, or some stuff to be released, or realized, with regards to those areas.
Mm-hmm. And I felt some pressure on her sacral as well. I don't know if you've been having gut issues, but that's being tidied up as well.
Very good. Oh, she gets the same bath. Excellent. Very nice.
Very nice.
Excuse me.
All right, I think we're complete. Whenever my guides are there, I was just checking if there's anything else, and whenever they want to be funny about certain things, they're like a little ribbon on them. They're like, okay, done. Next.
Wrapping it up.
Just wrap them up. They're ready.
Yeah, nice. Right. Thank you, Letitia.
Thank you, Letitia, for being here. Happy New Year.
I know. Hey, Michelle. I know.
Hi, Kathy.
Probably wasn't going to be here. And are you here? Hey, Kathy.
You're welcome, Letitia. Miranda, I believe earlier she was texting. I don't know. Miranda, if you're here, let us know. If not, that's okay. I think she said she might not be.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she said she might not be here, and she'll catch it on the replay. But I will just.
Oh, she says she's here, but phone may die. Hi, Caitlin. Okay. Hello, friend. How are you?
Hey, Kate. Nice to see you. Nice.
Any openings for a message? Yes, there is.
Yeah, Kathy, if you care to donate, then obviously we'll stick you on the list. If you can, if there's any open donations, any amount, whatever you like. So, you're doing Miranda.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can tag her name or something. I don't know. I don't know if I did it right, but.
Well, I suppose Miranda, if you'd make a note of, just in case your phone does die, if you make a note of whatever the time is, at the moment it's showing 42, nearly 43 minutes. So if you you got an idea of where to go to.
Okay, but I don't know if I did it the right way, but I did something.
That'll do. Oh, thank you, Kate. Kate's donated.
Aw, thank you, Kate. And Kathy, I can't even. No, it was Kate. Caitlin. Okay.
Kate and Kat. Kat and Kate.
I was like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah, well, good. Thank you, Kathy. I've been just chilling out the last few days, actually. So just taking the time. How about you? What have you been up to? Do you have a nice Christmas and everything? Just been taking it easy.
Thank you, Caitlin. All right. So Miranda.
Right, Miranda.
There's like an instant fire that comes through, and it's just and it wasn't dragons because I just checked. It's like fire energy, and she's fire elementals, and she's using the power or element of fire to process everything. And it's like when I used to process everything with fire instead of air, I'd be walking around constantly like dehydrated. Let me just air. There you go. Constantly dehydrated and tired, and like no matter how much water I was drinking, I'd be like, oh my god, I still feel tired. I still need more water. And I'd be chugging bottles of water, and it would make no difference. Because you're going through a major shift, and you need some assistance. So, ooh, there you go. Your field just shifted like this. I don't know if you felt that. So your field just shifted. We went from fire to air. So this is what air feels like. When you process with air, it's a lot lighter, a lot, easier on your body, more gentler on yourself. They're saying she has plumbing issues. They're showing me her like lower GI system. What are you not letting go, friend? What is in your life that you're not willing to let go of? She says, yes, my mouth is dry and I've been drinking water. Feel lighter. Yes. So that is because we're using the energy of air. And so it's something in her lower gut. I don't know if you've been constipated or like not like using your regular bowel movements. I don't know if you've tried fiber. Because usually water intake will help, and fiber obviously will help, but not obviously if you don't have the water intake. Because people have taken fiber without no water, and I don't know why they would think that the fiber magically will move through without any substance to help it move through. Because the fiber needs to, enlarge and have something to move it through, or else it's just compacted. My point being, if you take fiber, use water. And so just we're gonna help you let some things go. Between now and 2 or 3 days, you might feel like you have to use the restroom, maybe this very instant, maybe in the next 2 days. You might feel like you want to rush to use the restroom. That is completely normal. But we're going to work on getting rid of some of those blockages you have. Lower stomach thing makes sense. Few of the things going on. So I'm going to work on your chakras, few of the blockages, things you have. And we're going to change a few soul contracts, they say. Soul contracts. Okay. I'm going to work on that.
Okay, marvelous. Right, Miranda. What they showed me was there were some clouds, but the sun was peeking out from behind the clouds. It's as if, like, I guess things may have seemed like they're rather, shall we say, well, cloudy, I suppose. But know that there are some things that are in the process, like the sun kind of coming out from behind them suggests to me that things are in the process of being resolved, and that the light is being brought in, and you're I feel like you're doing a lot of the things that you're doing the things that you need to do. So kind of keep trusting yourself, because I feel like sometimes you don't necessarily trust yourself with the things you're doing because you may be not seeing instant results, but know that you're always doing exactly, you're doing what you need to do, and just to keep going, because you listen to your body. You're although you may not realize it, you are listening to it, and you're doing what you need to do in order to kind of get the results that you want. But I feel like obviously the sun is associated with fire. I see it more of as just a light rather than a fireball. And the light is significant because it feels like there's things maybe have been, shall we say, in the dark for a while, which is why the sun was behind the clouds. But now the light is being shed on situations, and it's having an effect insofar as you're becoming more aware, I guess, as we all are. But you're becoming more aware, and of the reasons why you are having certain issues, and that can only be good. So, like with each day, your awareness is increasing, and you're taking the necessary action in order to get to where you want to be. And obviously the clouds are significant because obviously they hold water and etc. Or some of them do, but I'm not sure how easy it is for you where you are at the moment. But like being out in the sun is obviously extremely significant and important around this time, because obviously, like, I think you're in the States, and although I can't remember, but I don't know what the weather is like. But I mean, during autumn and winter, we don't necessarily see the sun as much. So it's important to get as much of it as we can. And they just showed me they're asking me to, well, I want to say to you, when you do manage to get out in the sun, and when you get a moment, obviously if you're out and about walking or running errands or whatever, going to work or whatever, but if you do get some time to just kind of sit in the sun, they would like you to, or I would like you to, almost like make kind of place your hand sort of either side, a few inches either side of your belly button, and almost imagine that you're creating a funnel for the sun's rays, because you want those rays to be focused, particularly sort of around your stomach area, your lower stomach, because obviously that's where the main bulk of the gut is, and so to create kind of like a funnel, and I'm seeing you, like they're showing it to me, and I'm seeing the sort of almost like creating a sort of a vortex kind of funnel thing where the rays are being sort of concentrated in that area. Excuse me, and that is going to obviously aid and help with healing that part. So give that a try, and it's okay if you'll know when it's working, because you'll start to feel that kind of get a bit. It won't hurt or anything like that, but it may be a bit warmer than the rest of your body, which is absolutely fine.
So you got the two of spades, and then you also got the nine of spades, and it's I love the significance of this because this is also air. Cartomancy. It's also air, and the fact that we're trying to teach you to use air. The two of spades, it's like this very indecisive energy, like, and this is the nine of spades is very being in your head, very focusing on the small details instead of looking at the bigger picture. Like instead of say, let's say one thing goes wrong. Let's say I'm not saying you're doing this. It's an example, but one thing goes wrong and someone's trying to do something. They're like, everything in my life goes this way and everything sucks and this is the story of my life. And instead of going, oh wow, that was one blip in the road, oh well, and then like not giving it that much attention, instead of making it a very significant thing and giving it so much attention and focusing on it the rest of the day, going, oh shit, it always happens, always. So we're attracting more of that, right? And it's like, so it's also the nine of spades is also a card of like late night keeping you up, stuff on your mind, not getting like worrying and just sadness and emotional body, and it just like, will it ever get better, or will always like this, and love and light, but like what the fuck, and like, you know, it's a very like fighting yourself kind of like inner mental turmoil. It's like your mental body coming up and beating up your emotional body. It's like a mind fuck. So we're gonna go ahead. So we're gonna go ahead and like have you not attack yourself, because that's what's kind of happening, and kind of gently separate this and kind of maybe just pay attention to what you're watching and listening to. Like if I'm in like a bad place, you know, I'll try to avoid watching horror movies or try to avoid watching like maybe serial killer documentaries. If I'm like generally not like just not to attack myself with you. You and me both sometimes, sister. So
that's always good advice.
I know. It's a great advice. But
unless you like that sort of thing, would you?
I'm gonna take that advice for myself, Jimmie. It just maybe I won't watch, you know, like a Dahmer series or something like that. And if I'm in a really good place, maybe I'll like, you know, watch some other stuff. And sometimes, you know, in a bad place, I'll watch something comedy to bring my energy up, or I'll take a nice walk, or, you know, I'll see where my body's at, see where my thoughts are at, and being more conscious and aware of where your thoughts are at, you know? Like, it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have a few days. If something happened in your life, 1 or 2 bad days, give yourself a week, you know, to grieve or whatever. But if you're constantly letting that energy pull you down, you can notice it and switch it. You're like, oh, okay, let's do something else. Oh, okay, let's. And I'm not teaching you avoidance, and I'm not teaching you to run away from your problem. I'm just saying, change your mindset. Because once you get into that like endless pit of, oh god, this nothing's gonna get better. If you hit a certain point, it's really hard to pull yourself out. I've been there, so.
Yeah, certainly. Oh, excuse me.
But you will be getting, you're getting new light codes. I'm feeling some pressure here. So just relax, eat some good food, drink some nice, you know, water, and just let it integrate. Okay, we'll have the integrations happen while you're sleeping, not while you're awake.
Yeah, that's the best time. Definitely. And let's see if there's anything else. Hold on.
Oh, they made me go into your heart space, and I pulled out something. They made me like enter your heart space and like pull out what looked like little corkscrews, and so.
Oh, nice. She like a fine bottle of wine, is she?
I didn't think about it that
way. Also, Miranda, just one last thing. You probably already do this, but they're showing. I'm seeing you kind of just leaning up against a tree, just chilling out for a few minutes, just to, I don't know, just to interact with any tree. They're saying any tree, just to have you. You don't need to hug it or anything like that, but just lean up against it. And I feel like there'll be an energy exchange, because the trees will benefit from the energy that you give to them as well as what they can do for you.
It's okay. Hug the tree.
So, yeah, I am complete. Hey, Patty.
Hi, Patty. Why am I saying it like that? Okay.
Because I did.
That feels excellent, Miranda. Thank you for being here. All right.
Excellent.
All right. So we have Bev next. Bev says, "Can you see what is blocking my soul language from coming through?"
Oh, excuse me.
Bev, what is blocking your soul language from coming through? You won't speak? Are you worried about how it sounds? Are you worried if it sounds funny and it doesn't sound like everyone else's? What is it? Sorry, that was a channel message. That wasn't me. Happy New Year to you too, Patty. Constant headache in my forehead. Minute since I hugged trees. Miranda, there's no wrong time to hug a tree, friend. Hug a tree right now. Hug a tree while you're watching this live. Go back and hug a tree again when you re-watch this live. There's no wrong time. Perfect time to hug a tree all the time.
Right.
Get your potted plants and hug them too. All right, so Bev's next.
Did you know you can I saw a video the other day about getting a pine cone and growing it in a pot, and so you can have like a sort of a pine tree, an air purifier, an oxygen producing plant in your home, just by watering a pine cone in a pot full of soil. I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay. That is what I'm trying to tell you, my dear. So you're saying feel like something is blocking it from coming through. Yes, you are blocking it for yourself. So what's happening is you are afraid. Now just think about it for a second. Just think about it as like this is not the answer that you wanted. And let's make up an answer. Let's say some ancient Atlantean guard that has stopped you and has held a sword over your throat so you can't speak soul language. That doesn't resonate, does it? so what?
I'll just say hi, Tony. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, so it's not that. It's more of a it feels like you're afraid. It's like you're looking at or hearing other people speak with their confidence or perceived confidence, and you're just like, oh, they can speak soul language. They're doing it so well. They know exactly what they're saying. What if I say something that sounds like a cuss word, or what if I say something completely wrong? A lot of like mental head like stress than actual like there's actual physical blocks there, Bev. There's there's no actual blocks that are like preventing you from speaking because it seems like there's like dragon soul language waiting, there's fairies, there's bird full soul language waiting. They're just like super excited. Their energy's like so like there's nothing blocking it. They're like excited to speak to you. They're excited for busy. What I see you channeling soon in the next months or 2 years, somewhere between then, whenever you get the confidence to start speaking. It can be tonight. So you just start speaking. Don't matter, even if it sounds like absolute bullshit. Just keep speaking it. Keep speaking it with a sister or a friend. Or there's so many people who speak soul language. Like if you the Light Language Awakening group, so many people who speak soul language on that. Do you think every single person who speaks soul language on that knows exactly every single word or every single phrase they're saying? No, they don't. They speak from the heart. Even Deb says they speak from the soul. So no, you speak from your soul. Stop judging it. Don't judge yourself. Don't judge the language, and then let it flow through because you're a really good channel. You're a vocal channel. They're saying you speak very well. You can easily go in between different soul language. So you can go very fluently between them. You're an excellent channel. Just stop doubting yourself. Don't let you hold yourself back. And
excuse me.
Very fear-based, very judgmental, like almost like you're a perfectionist. You're like, I need to say this the right way, and I need everyone to be like, "This is excellent soul language." So, I kind of like that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Hey Trina, but yeah, I totally agree. Well said, Vasu, because there's a lot of self judgment, and I know how you feel, Bev, because I was there when I started to think. I always thought I was. I thought this is just gibberish. This doesn't make any sense at all. You know, this sounds absolutely ridiculous. And then, so like, it took me about 6 months. I think I can't remember, but it took me a while to have the confidence to speak it in front of, like, on a live or just in front of anyone. I used to speak it to myself, and I didn't understand or know what I meant or what, and I still don't know what certain things mean. Like I can speak light language, and I think I got no clue what I just said, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's all about the tone and the vibration, I think, of the words and the sounds, and all that matters is the other person or people who are listening. It kind of interacts with them, because it will do different things to different people, depending on the tone or the vibration of the sounds. And it doesn't have to make sense, and you don't have to know what you're saying. All that matters is, like Vice, you said, to remove the judgment of self, and to allow yourself for it to just flow through you, and it can sound however it sounds. That it doesn't make it, how you sound. You're not doing it wrong. You're never doing it wrong. I find that it is just a confidence issue, with a lot of people. It's all about confidence, because it sounds so strange, because it sounds like not what we're used to. So, Catherine, yeah, they're still open, if you would like.
Yes.
And I was going to suggest, if you are a member of, is you a member of the Light Language Awakening group?
If you're not a member of the Light Language Awakening, please go ahead and join their group. Deb is extremely wonderful. She's the one who activated my soul language. There's wonderful people in there. Tina's very nice. There's a Kat who also practices soul. She's also in the soul language group. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of open community that's not judgmental. Like when I used to text Deb initially. Catherine, the link is in both the banner as well as the pinned comment. So the link is there already. So she goes, Deb has activated my soul language. So whatever. So if I feel like what's coming through for you, Bev, right now, because I was working on your DNA and I was working on your field. You have like several past lives of like, I was working on your past lives and I was working on your Akashic records. And I was also weaving codes through your field. It looks like you have strong. Hi, Amanda. Thank you.
Hey, Amanda.
Thank you for being here. Happy New Year. It looks like you have strong avian coming through. So speak whenever someone speaks. Just repeat after them. Just like Koti Sara Koshi. So it doesn't matter if it's avian, if it's supposed to be Lemurian, Atlantean, if it's supposed to be Nordic, if it's supposed to be like dragon. Just set the intention from the heart. I'm saying I love you. Kasi Horisa. So how does that feel to you if you close your eyes and I'm saying that to you? Does that feel good? Do you feel that? Like, go off of feeling. And it's a little hard for you because you kind of close off your heart chakra. So spin, open spin. And we're going to go ahead and speak from the heart and just kind of you're very serious, Bev. You're very, that's why I'm trying to laugh and kind of have you let go of it. There's such a serious undertone to your energy. So that's why we're trying to laugh and lighten it up. Just let go. Just, be free.
Totally. Yeah, so that's what it's all about, allowing it to come through. And I was going to suggest, for those, like I noticed Kate said it, and Letitia said it, and Trina said it, like if you're a member of the Light Language Awakening group, I don't know, I can't remember what's allowed in there and what's not, but I would like to suggest just doing a quick video, just posting a quick video in there of you speaking it, and then just seeing seeing the feedback you get from others who are in there, because I feel like that they're so understanding and they're so supportive that, like, you can't do anything wrong, and they will pick up on what you're doing, and they will. I feel like there will be nothing but positive feedback, and they will, like, someone in the group will be able to interpret the things that you've said, even if you can't understand that, understand what you've said yourself. And it's just kind of, I feel like sometimes we can get to a point where we're so frustrated about something, that we kind of almost push ourselves to take action and to just think, oh, I don't like feeling like this anymore, so I'm just going to do it, and see what happens. And then you find like that can sometimes be what you need. And we need to give ourselves a kick up the arse sometimes, to kind of to do something. But I feel if it's allowed, then to just post a video of yourself. It doesn't have to be very long. Just speaking your soul language, speaking your light language, and just see what people say, see what people get from it, because people will get something from it. And then use that to build up your confidence in yourself and in the way that you speak, and not to worry too much about trying to understand it yourself. But yeah, give that a go.
Yeah, the confidence is it's a learned thing for some of us who've been through certain experiences in life. It's a learned aspect. I've had a friend, the same thing, bro. I literally we were activated at the same time. She just would not speak. And I literally had to, like, every single time I'd be walking through the house or whenever I saw her, I'd just be like speaking to her in light language. And eventually she just was like, okay, this girl's not going to give up. So she like was like, okay, I'll say one sentence, and watched me if I would laugh at her. And I didn't. And I just said something back. And then she said something back. So my point being, go to someone that you trust and just send them a voice note. Just be like, send that little voice note on there and be like, cool. And then they'll say something back, and you said something back, and it doesn't matter if you know what you're saying. As long as you're not mad at them and you're saying F you, it's fine. So go have like a nice exchange, and that's how you talk to people too,
Yeah.
It's such an open group. They're not really like, so just use this opportunity to like branch out and do certain things,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, because I just see so many opportunities opening up for you. She's a very strong channel, like
yeah,
very,
I know.
yeah, like she's like healing, vocal channeling. I see you activating people in the future, Bev. Like, you have so much capacity, woman. You need to, when you decide to see that for yourself, you have lots of capacity and lots of wonderful things coming in for you.
I agree. The world is your oyster. Hey, Alana.
Yes, oyster.
So, hope that helps, Bev. You can do it.
Yes. So we have another donation from. I feel like I'm gonna say that the wrong way.
Trina. That's Trina.
Is that Ilamuku? That one's Trina?
Yeah, that's Trina, yeah. Okay. Trina from Hawaii.
Okay. Hi, Trina. So I'm going to put you on the list.
Thank you, Trina.
Thank you.
The only reason I started I was doing it private. I wasn't doing it on lives or anything like that, and I sent a donation in for a live that Renee and Deb were doing. And the message came through, I think it was from Renee, it might have been from both of them. They basically told me to stop being so afraid, and that I needed to speak my light language on lives. and that was kind of like the push or the nudge that I needed in order to do it. And I thought, yeah, why am I hesitating? Why don't I trust myself? Why don't I have any confidence in myself to do it? And all it needed was that message from someone just to say, you can do it. And so I started to do it. And once you do it, you think, why was I so worried? Why did I feel so like I couldn't do it? Why did I feel like it was, why did I feel blocked, I suppose? Why? And from then on, it was like, yeah, once you get over that barrier that we put up ourselves, obviously, then, you think, but I guess each in their own time.
I agree with Jimmie. Kathy, so we have the people who've donated so far who are next. Caitlin is next, and then Trina has donated after that. If you want to donate, you're more than welcome to, and then we'll put you on the list as well. But yeah, Beth, I feel like that's good, and being a perfectionist is kind of, sometimes people are hard on themselves. I have a A-type personality as myself, so I can kind of stress on the small details, and I like things to be a specific way. But then I learned to let go a little bit, and just let things be as they are. And the less that I'm hard on myself, the more easily welcoming I've noticed I am of other people. The less I judge myself, the less I'm like, what the fuck did that person do? Because I was like, okay, I judge myself harshly. So if I'm like, maybe that pencil doesn't need to be exactly at a 40-degree angle from the other pencil,
Yeah.
So once I start beating myself up, then I'm like not so hard when I meet other people.
Yeah, totally. I totally feel that as well. Thank you, Mystical. Hello. Kate's a super perfectionist as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Mystical.
Which is good.
Hello.
When we're in creation mode, or if we're doing DIY or I don't know, or creating something, then that's good to be a perfectionist, because then it's as good as it can be, or that you feel happy with it. But when other stuff, then it's good to have a little bit of leeway and to be less judgmental. So
yeah. Agreed. But you're like I said, you'll do great. You'll just take care of time.
Yeah, you got no worries there, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. But
Lauren says, I've come to realize that even though it has been half a decade since something has happened, the consequences may not show themselves. There's complex PTSD, there's general PTSD, it shows up in different ways, I've realized, whether it's trauma, depression, anxiety, inability to speak to other people, inability to speak, inability to place boundaries. So we all have trauma show up in different ways. And that's what I've realized, right? So it's not just one area. Because myself, I was in depression. I still deal with some insomnia issues where I can't sleep more than 4 hours at once, unless I have medication to keep me asleep. So it just is what it is. And the way I used to interact with people, I was just very scared, because I have had not so nice people in my life. So it's very hard for me to interact or even have basic general conversations. For someone else, that's just like, that's just a normal conversation. Why is that so hard for you? For me, it's like building up that momentum and that energy and that push to say something very small and basic that may be for someone else not a big deal. So it shows differently.
Hey, Ada.
Hey, Ada.
Right. Who we got next? We got Caitlin next.
We have Caitlin, and then we have
Trina.
One more person. Trina, yeah.
Okay. Right, Kate. Anything in particular? Do you want to know how to not be such a perfectionist? If so, then if you find out, can you let me know, please?
Just don't keep your pencils at 40-degree angles, Jimmie. You'll be okay.
Okay. What about pens?
Oh my God, this is a totally different genre. I did not know about this. I don't know. I'll get back to you. I'll talk to my guides and Jesus on that and get back to you.
Okay, yeah, there's a big difference. Either way, I keep getting anxiety around this time every day, or if I should invest in this course I'm thinking about.
Invest. Sorry, that was off the bat. Invest.
Yeah, I got that strongly come through. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, right. Let's have a look then, Kate.
Patty just donated. I'm putting Patty on the list.
Oh, thank you, Patty.
Thank you, Patty. Are you good to keep going, Jimmie?
Yeah, fine. Yeah,
okay.
No problem.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Patty.
Yeah, glad to be of help, Kate. Right, who's next?
I just realized like rapid round.
Yeah.
Next. Caitlin says, "Oh, that was easy." No, your guides are very chatty. Hold on, Caitlin. I was just trying to multitask. I was trying to be 3D as well. Ooh. Right. Her shamanic heart's about to come in. It's like whirring around. So you've had a several heart openings recently, they're saying. And there's I'm going to use the violet flame to kind of clear up some debris in your heart spaces. It's because it's like whirring around you like this, and it's like I don't know what changed. She made a change between the last live and this live. Something in the last 2 to 4 weeks, she's made a change. Whatever change you made, excellent, good job, great job, well done. They're all clapping in the background. They're saying you're on the right path. It's like she made a choice difference or something clicked in her head, and she said, "Yeah, maybe I should do that." So we're gonna go ahead. You're getting codes that are integrating right now. You're getting business codes. They're saying you're getting angels assigned to you. You have a finance angel that's being assigned to you, a travel agent that's being assigned to you, a writing books agent. I don't know, whatever thing you're planning on. They're covering like your eyes like this. Oh, maybe you're starting to see. So I'm just gonna work on that. Yeah, I'm just gonna work on your field in general. Lots of traveling for you. I'm seeing. I don't know if that's part of your business. Yes, and just generally, you like to travel.
I'm gonna give Kate an air healing.
No.
I don't know if you want to warn her. I'm seeing one because I saw one of those that we have. You probably got them there, but you put it's kind of like a helicopter kind of thing where you put it in and then you wind this kind of plastic stringy thing out and then you pull the cord and it sort of whips the contraption around and then it goes shooting up in the air and then it kind of like just floats there and everything. And I feel like that's got something to do. They're showing how, like, I just heard the words. There's a spike in your energy or in kind of your thoughts. Hold on a second, because they're showing me your house, or I'm seeing a house. I don't know if it's yours, but it's kind of like signifies.
Hi, Mark. Welcome.
Oh, hey, Mark. How you doing, brother?
She goes, my clairaudience is pretty good, but she doesn't know where my vision went. They're working on one at a time as to not overwhelm you, because recently you've gone through several painful heart chakra openings and experiences, and you've been in the level of grief as well. That's kind of why you've been going to like large bodies of water and processing. So one at a time, and they're playing Macho Man in the background.
Oh, nice. What Randy Savage?
The Macho Man.
Oh,
that one.
I thought you meant the wrestler. So Kate, what they said was, or what I felt, I showed that they showed me a house and they showed me the position of the sun. Because I know you said like about anxiety around about this time of day, and I feel like it's got something to do with the position of the sun and how and how that the rays are kind of focused on a certain part of your home.
Have you ever heard of the Great Central Sun, Kate? They're asking you to maybe step up and like try to like some of the extended masters. Sorry, Jimmie, I didn't mean to interrupt. They're asking you to step up and maybe look into like connecting with the ascended masters using the Great Central Sun. They're talking about Pleiadian masters, and they're talking about because they're showing me the tail end of Pleiadian cluster near Taurus, Alpha Centauri. I don't know. They're showing me a bunch of things, and they're saying you can also learn these on Summit Lighthouse. So maybe go there and start learning.
Yeah, good thinking. But what I'm seeing or what I'm feeling is that around about the time that like you start to feel that anxiety build, if there's a particular, I don't know if you get sun in all of your rooms, but I'm seeing that because like around about this time, if there's sun shining in one particular room, then I'm feeling like it would be good for you to be in that room, because like short of going outside and going to the beach or going wherever, it's almost like the energy that like the focused energy of the sun will help to almost like put you back, will help to calm your system. And they said to look at the sun, but not with your eyes open, with your eyes closed. Obviously not with them open, but to maybe sit when you feel, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to apply just to this time of day, but whenever you feel like you're in that state, you're getting in that anxious state, to just go and sit and stare at the sun with your eyes closed and allow, because you'll still like receive the necessary energy or information, or you'll receive the necessary frequencies from that, even with your eyes closed. And they just said it will. I can see it. It's almost like I can see that the energy that the vibrations kind of filtering down into your spinal column, and then from there it will kind of like transmit and it will be transported to the areas that is needed, because your body will know what to do with it, because it will feel where the anxiousness is being manifested. And they said to, obviously you're super aware, and you're extremely connected, etc. So when you do that, if you choose to do that, obviously you don't have to, but if you choose to do that, then kind of do your best to sense where it's going. So say, for example, you're feeling anxious, so you go and sit in the room or outside, wherever, if it's warm enough, sit in the sun with your eyes closed, staring at the sun. You feel kind of that it come through, you feel it come down, and then you say you feel it go to, I don't know, like your lungs, for example, and then what it's doing is trying to trying to show you, trying to make you aware that there's something going on there that maybe you need to pay attention to. And they said you can either hum or and match the frequency, because you'll know when you've hit the right frequency, because you'll feel your lungs. Say, for example, if it is the lungs, you'll feel your lungs resonate, or you'll feel a tingling there. So it's a way to kind of like self heal or self calm. And you can do that for any part of your body. And they said by doing that, obviously, the more that you do it, the less you'll need to do it, because one by one, you'll start to kind of go through the parts of your body that need it. And obviously, by doing it to a part of your body, then it will have the effect of it will be of benefit, and so therefore you won't. It's not like medication where you'll need to do it every day, but obviously while you're doing it, then you may also receive a download or information, whatever you like to call it, of why it manifested there in the first place. So there is a bit of homework, unfortunately. There is a bit of learning to do, but so it's not. I mean, you can do as much or as little as you like, obviously. But that's just a sort of, I don't know, that's a technique that you can do.
So the thing is, part of it looks like whenever you're going to sleep, you're leaving your body and you're traveling, and that's partially why you're afraid. But some of the places that you're traveling to, I went to see where you're traveling to, and it makes sense why you're afraid. So I've pulled you back from some of those places. What you can do as a suggestion is you can say certain prayers. There are certain nighttime prayers you can say that are on the Summit Lighthouse, or if you instant message me on Facebook, I'll send them to you. There's certain nighttime prayers. If you say it, I'm gonna also ask the Velas to come in and watch over you. So the Velas are gonna come. They're intergalactic guidance. They also they work with the time travel guardians. So they're gonna come watch over you, put you on not like a harness kind of thing, but they're gonna watch over you so you don't go into like scary places. And the thing is, when you dimensionally travel, you need to know where you're going, how to open the doors, how to hold yourself when you're going through those doors. And not everything once you go. So like if you're saying let's go to the gremlin one or the angelic one, or let's say you're going to the fairy realm, you need to know how to go in, not fracture all over the place, get lost, or get taken advantage of, and then come out all in one piece. And some people don't know how to do that. A lot of people don't know how to do that. Even some people who teach things don't know how to do that. So you have to be very careful when you're traveling like that. You need to, there's several, like a rule checklist that you need to make sure. Some people go there, fracture off, and they get lost in that certain part. So it's just, we just need to be conscious of those things. And some people don't always know exactly how to do it. That's fine. But nighttime prayers, nighttime intentions will help you. The Velas will help you call on the Velas. And yeah, that's partially why it's like a form of sundowner syndrome, where like these older people in hospitals have sundowner syndrome, where they get scared when it starts like getting dark, because they start going beyond the veil, and they start freaking out, and they'll be like, can you please tell that person to leave? And I'll be like, I can see what they're talking about, but everyone else around me will be like, there's no one there, darling, it's okay. And I'll be looking at exactly what they're talking about, and I'm like, so it's like, it's kind of like that. So it just is what it is. It's just when people are very psychic, very attuned, they see certain things, go certain places that they've been before, and some of them are not always nice places. So just a little bit of protection, a little bit of consciousness and intention will go a long way. Also keep a selenite, a tourmaline, and a rose quartz at the head of your bed. with intention. That'll help as well, they say.
Excellent. Right, well, I hope that helps, Kate. There's a lot of information there. So I don't know if you want to watch this back and write it all down. But no, for me as well. I mean, it's just like
that was kind of a dumb thing, wasn't it, Jimmie? It was like
yeah. Yeah, it's like she needs a checklist but yeah, I hope you can remember all of that, Kate. Mind you, I bet you always watch a replay.
I did write some of the places that I was mentioning in the comments, so hopefully, like for some people, like if I said stuff fast, you can find it from some of that. The Summit Lighthouse is very helpful. Lots of information there. They have lots of books, knowledge, videos, etc.
Cool, lovely. Right, thank you, Kate. Lovely to see you.
You're welcome, Kate. Have a wonderful day. Happy New Year.
Right, we got Trina next.
We have Trina and then Patty. Trina, if you're here, say hello.
Say aloha.
She goes, I'm here.
Excellent. Right. Anything in particular, Trina, or just whatever comes through?
Aloha.
Aloha. Spiritual journey.
Spiritual journey.
Okie doke. Right. Let's have a look.
Okay, Trina, it looks like you have been going to like a lot of different people for maybe spiritual knowledge or like I'm seeing someone who like it looks like a small house, like it looks like one of those like I don't know what they're called. It looks like a tiki kind of thing. And like maybe like a local shaman kind of, or maybe like multiple people and you're going to people after people and you're not finding a specific answer, or what they're telling you isn't resonating, or one of your spirit guides just came through. You have lots of bird spirit guides. An owl came through. Owl usually means like observe the situations. The owl generally kind of observes, sees through the night as well, and doesn't say much, right? Unless it has to. Then when it does have to speak, it's very loud. Same thing with the eagle. The eagle has an elevated perspective and always watches and kind of speaks when it's needed, or like when it needs to come out, and they'll do their thing when they need to. So the message that you're getting maybe is in whatever situation you're in, or I don't know if it's a family setting or if it's in like a very big family or extended, whatever it is. Kind of, there's certain times to know when to speak and a certain times to know when to act. Learning that takes some time. Maybe be careful with whom and what you're sharing, because not everyone will understand the journey that you're going through. Because everyone has their versions of spirituality, their versions of consciousness, their versions of reality, right? So maybe if I said half the stuff that I see or hear, someone else, depending on their level of consciousness, might, like if I go to work and say this, they might think I'm fucking crazy, right? So it's just like it's like, so I can't go to like one of my patients who's like, hey, can you tell that guy to like leave my bathroom? I can't be like, oh, that's just Michael, or that's just Azrael, or I just can't be like Jesus chilling.
There's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door.
Hey, Jimmie, you want to take care of this really quickly? I'll let you
Yeah,
go.
sure. Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah, no worries. So, Trina, what came in straight away was a turtle, a tortoise. Are turtles the same as tortoises? I don't know. Anyway, but they came in, and I feel like there's a sea turtle there as well. And obviously, like turtles, tortoises signify slow and steady. The rabbit and the hare and the tortoise race, slow and steady wins the race, etc. But it's not just that, because I feel like you already know when to rest. I feel like you already know when the time and like, yes, you may be impatient sometimes, but I don't necessarily think there's, in your case, and not in anyone's case, I suppose, that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, it's not necessarily wrong with anything, but you already know when to kind of like to just rest, to go back in the shell and just not necessarily think about or worry about your journey to some degree. Although, we're always kind of, I suppose, once we start, we want to keep doing something. We want to keep growing. We want to keep learning. We want to keep up the practices that we've been doing for however long that we've been doing it. But I feel like there's also just like tortoises, there's like a softness, like they have a soft white underbelly, and I'm feeling that there's a part of yourself that, how can I say this, that wants you to get back in touch with it. I think that's probably the best way to say. And it's regarding, because I know like how kind and caring and loving you are, but there's also a softness. There's a delicate part of yourself that perhaps you don't necessarily show to many people or to anyone, but you're aware that it's there. And I feel like there's that part of you. You don't necessarily need to show it to people, although you show them. You show them. People know how loving and caring and kind you are. But I feel like at the same time, there's a part showing that to yourself and letting other people see that you're showing that to yourself, as well as showing the kindness to others, if that makes sense. So allowing people to see that you're also being that same kind, loving, caring, beautiful person, and you're showing yourself the compassion, you're showing yourself the love that you show to others, because that's also a big part of the inspiration that people draw from you being around them and your actions, the actions that you take when you're with them. And it's not just about you helping them, but letting them see that you're helping yourself too. And it's not because, and you're not gonna, I don't because I know you won't do it in a way that because you may think that you're kind of portraying yourself as selfish because you're showing yourself that compassion or that love, but that's not how people will perceive it, because you do it in such a way as that it will almost kind of like be a lesson in a sense, or an example to those about how to do that, because obviously we all need to do that. It's kind of essential for our own health and well-being as much as anything else. So it's kind of, I hope I've explained that all right, and I hope you know what I mean, but like that soft kind of white underbelly, that softness, and showing, like say, you showing that you can give that same kindness to yourself, and that will inspire others to do the same.
Yeah, I think, and then there's a certain level of vulnerability, right? Because it seems like she's going through different stages, and despite the judgment, she's still trying to do what she's trying to do and everything. At the same time, yeah, it feels like you're like trying to share with friends or family or whatever it is, and they're not quite understanding where you're coming from. So that's part of why you're feeling like your throat chakra is closed, and because you're like, oh, I don't really feel like I can fully express myself the way I want to express myself. I don't know if you paint, that you should probably paint more too, or write a journal, whatever way you express yourself. That's a good idea. As a side note, but whoever, it's just I'm getting the feeling of, you don't talk to many people. That's fine. But whoever you're talking to, you might not feel like you can express yourself, or there might not be a whole lot of people that you feel like you can express it to. Find the right crowd to talk to about it. Find people who are in your similar situation, or maybe like spiritual groups, or like something, and have kind of let your guard down. It's just like a very high guard, very, I don't want to let people in. They're not going to see, not going to let them see me for who I really am. Kind of very like, I don't trust them because they're not trustworthy. But you have to, like, some people, even though they're not trustworthy, you have to give them a chance. You have to. That's where the vulnerability part comes in, and it's also part of, like, us trusting ourselves, right? So it's like, if everything seems confusing and everything feels like we're being misunderstood or not valued enough, it just is what it is. So it's just trying to, like, keeping that space for different people, keeping that vulnerability and openness out there, and kind of also walking your path at the same time. So you're saying, there's not practice or cultural practices. I feel like maybe if you looked around or maybe tried in different places, you might be surprised. I walked a native path. That's excellent. Walk whichever path you feel like, and was learning to look next steps in the spiritual path. So that doesn't, what do you mean next steps in your spiritual path? It's not hidden. I think you have to make a choice. I think it's a indecisive, not sure where to go kind of thing, as opposed to it's being hidden from you, or you don't know where to go. Maybe you should try different things. Do you want to be a healer? What appeals to you? Is healing appeal to you? I'm sorry. She's very like very closed off energy. Very like. I think it takes her a while to like open up to people, and that's okay. That's okay. I used to be like that too. I have to see certain things, and then has to resonate a specific way, and then I'll open up and trust people. So that's okay. That's completely fine at your own pace. But you have to make a choice. What interests you? I want to be a healer. That's great. If I want to be a teacher, that's great. Like, kind of just go from there. So hopefully that resonates. The native ways of our kahunas are not something taught here in Hawaii. Okay. I'm not too familiar with that, but it's interesting.
I feel like I guess the best way I could put it is that being like more people will, I feel like you will be able to, I don't know, shall we say, reach, or more people will kind of see the ways that you're, because I see you being a teacher. I feel like teaching, because you obviously, like, I know you have an extensive knowledge and you're extremely aware of everything, and your native ways and all of that. I feel as if doing things that people notice, like for example, the self-care and showing your vulnerability, will kind of open you up, and open other people up to you, and then once you kind of have them sort of curious about what you're doing, then it's almost like you can introduce everything that you've learned, and you know, the ways in which you do things, and the the history of the culture, and all of that, and all the spiritual practices. But in order to kind of be that teacher, first obviously people have to be interested, and it's kind of a question of sort of feel like meeting them at a point in which they're at, and encouraging like the basics, of, you know, like what I said, the vulnerability, the self-care, and allowing people to see that, because if they see that you're taking care of yourself, and not just other people, then it will encourage them to do the same, and then they will ask questions and they will get interested, and you can show them like the things that you do and the practices that you do, etc. And so it's kind of like maybe where the turtle comes in as well, about being a process, like a slow process, of first getting them interested, and so and then obviously you can introduce things as and when you feel fit, you see fit. So so yeah, I see you being a teacher.
Thank you, Ivy. Thank you. So I'm going to be completely honest, Trina. It doesn't feel like you've decided yourself. You're asking other people. It's a little unfiltered, this message, but you're asking other people, what do I want? And it just in your head, it's like you don't necessarily want the advice. You're asking people, but it's like you're already saying, no, I'm going to do this. But whatever you're saying I'm going to do this to, it doesn't sit. It's not sitting. The you don't believe in it yourself. Like it's like you're saying I need to do this, this, and this, but it doesn't feel like it's coming from the heart. It feels like something you think you need to do, or you think is the right path, but it's not. It's not, oh, I have a passion for this, or oh, this makes me happy, or like it's a difference of I want to, as opposed to I feel like I have to. So if I had to give any advice, I would say try out different things. Let go of what you think other people are doing, or let go what you think you should do. Because a lot of my life I've lived where people told me what I should be doing with my life, or how I should be living, or what kind of job I should be doing, or how I should support myself, or when I should marry, or who I should marry. Just a lot of dictating of how I should live my life. And it took a lot of years to break away from that and finally realize, wow, I didn't even know what made me happy. If someone asked me what makes you happy, I could say answers that I thought people wanted to hear, but truly, like at the bottom of it, I didn't know what made me happy. And like that was my 30s. So it's okay to like not know where you're at, or it's okay to admit that I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. It's you have to want to do something. Like if I want to be a teacher and I want to help people, I have to want to teach people. I have to like Be like, oh yes, I'd love to give knowledge. Okay, you want knowledge? I'll throw all the knowledge you can handle. I'll throw it at you. So I have to love that. I have to come from that point of like loving it, or else at a certain point it's going to grind on people, and I'm going to start to resent it. I'm not going to enjoy what I'm doing. So it's just, I'm feeling there has to be a heart connection, a little bit of a vulnerability, a little bit of letting your guard down around other people and yourself, and maybe choose to trust one or two people. Just kind of, I don't know, kind of trusting yourself and trusting other people is coming through.
All right. Thank you, Ivy. Hey, Zay. How you doing, brother?
Hi, Zay. Hello, hello. Happy New Year.
All right. So I hope that helps, Trina.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. Happy New Year.
Lovely to see you, as always. Look forward to seeing more of your work. And yeah, share everything. Okay. Right.
So I think we have Patty next. And blessings to you. I think we have Patty next, and I think Ivy donated after that.
Okay. Marvelous.
Patty, if you're here, say hello.
And then we'll call it a day after Ivy, I think, if that's all right with you.
Okay, that's fine.
9's a good number.
Is it 9 or is it 15 or is it 99?
I don't know. They're all good numbers.
Okay. If you say so.
Patty. Did Patty have anything? I can't remember. Was there anything that you wanted to check, or didn't she say something about a headache?
Patty, I think you had mentioned something earlier. Would you mind? There was a lot of messages in between. Would you mind just reminding us what that message was? What you wanted us to focus on?
I can find out. Hold on. Oh yeah, she says I have a constant headache in my forehead, in my forehead area. What is that about? That's one of the things. That's one she said.
So that is because you've been getting new Ascension downloads, Patty, and they're bopping their head like this. One of the ways you process is by listening to music. People process in different ways. Some people process by running, some people process by talking, some people process by dancing around. I don't know if you like listening to music on either earphones or like a record player or whatever it is you like listening to. That's how you process. Like maybe you like to swing around and listen to music, but you have lots of downloads coming in, and then you shut down. You just the amount of it was all of the head chakras and all of the crown chakras, and even from the soul star, it feels like there's a jam. Like suppose this is your crown and this is your soul star. It feels like there's a traffic jam right here. So I'm just gonna go and help you kind of integrate them and have them come in. They're also asking to turn on certain upgrades, and I don't know if you have an issue with sinuses. And chiropractic is highly suggested, Patty. They're saying for whatever neck, upper cervical pain that you may have. Up lower cervical pain and maybe lower lumbar sacral areas, and those two areas wherever you have pain or lots of resistance energies building up. Chiropractic would be a good idea to like loosen those energies. And I'm just gonna help your chakras with alignment, because one of them they look like a ping pong ball. So I'm gonna help them with alignment and kind of like help the messages come in gently.
Excuse me. Hey Kellyanne, Happy New Year, Happy New Year's, hey, Happy New Year, brother, Happy New Year. Right, Patty. It feels like I'm seeing this almost like this gauze or this some kind of fabric kind of thing, and it feels like it's tightly wrapped around your stomach. or around that area, and it feels extremely tight, like it's squeezing, like there's something that's really, there's something that feels out of balance, that's contracted in that area. It's almost like the pressure needs to be released. And let me just do a little bit on that first, and then I'll sort of see afterwards. But Solatai Nikia Masunyo Sanatai Sakai Salate Isinia Masunakosana Yesana Kisla Tiki Miki Sunoya Masunoka Yesa. Latan Nisania Kiesana Kolonia Sana Pasana Kisno Toye Sanate Sana Kileta Sunamasana. La sanata kisno kosunoya sanali sniki masno kolonania sanakislata. Yes, nakisunolotoya nasanama sanakislata isataka. I have a permanent lower back injury. I didn't see that, but what I got while I was doing the light language was that there was kind of like, I felt like there was something to do with the nerves. They showed me the nerves going up from your feet, kind of past your legs, thighs, etc. Hamstrings, and into your lower back. And I felt like, I was going to say that there was some kind of nerve, like a trapped nerve or something like that there, and that was having an effect, and having almost like a pulling effect on sort of your stomach area, your gut, and all of that entails, like your intestines, and because it feels like there's almost like things are being like pulled and kind of squashed, and like what Vice you said about chiropractor, I'm feeling that, and doing something to help to relax the nerves. I know that there's there's obviously herbs that you can take to help with the nervous system, and to help provide support and like relaxation in that respect. And the one that springs to mind is something called, I believe it's called Thunder God Vine. I think that's right.
It's called what?
It's called Thunder God Vine. Yeah, I know, isn't that the best name ever in the world? But there's have a look at that, because that's what's came through. I'm feeling to help kind of relieve the pressure almost. I feel like that will help to alleviate some of the pain, because like I don't feel, even though you're getting codes, etc., downloads, it's also part, I mean, like we all get codes, downloads, etc., but we don't all get headaches. So I'm feeling as if kind of, because if you sort the issue out with kind of the area, your lower back area, then it will allow more easiness and more grace for everything to come in and not give you the same issues. So do a little bit of have a look at Thunder God Vine. I'm not sure like where you get it from or anything like that as something, and I mean, you don't have to. I mean, it's just a suggestion. It's just what's coming through. But I feel like by helping sort of relieve some of the pressure down here, it will kind of assist up here.
It just says only Jimmie would know about Thunder God Vine.
I actually learned it from Bronwyn. Actually, Bronwyn told me about it.
Mm-hmm. Patty, so the lower back pain, like Jimmie was saying, it looks like it's a bit, there's like a stenosis, or like the cushion that goes between your sacral vertebra, it's being squished like this, and obviously the nerves in the back are also being squished, and they're not happy, and it's like probably lots of pain for you, lots of irritation, pain. They're showing me like gentle, like stretching exercises, like very gentle, like moving forward or moving to the left or right to like relieve the pain. There's certain cushions that you can sit on that are for like lumbar support and sacral support cushions. There's lots of orthopedic shoes, lots of cushions you can sit on. There's lots of added support when you're sleeping, orthopedic wise, and also positional, because I'm also seeing your posture kind of like, so maybe orthopedic chairs, kind of just like to help alleviate some of the pain. I'm feeling some pressure here, so I'm working on that. And it just, the whole back area just kind of feels like it's like collapsing on itself. So probably gonna like send some energy to that and send some healing to that to kind of relieve some of that gently and easily, and try to have it be constantly in pain or kind of struggling with that. And again, I do feel like a chiropractor would help, but that's at your discretion. So I will send some healing energy to both those areas, and also some towards here. It looks like, I don't know if it's your clavicle or like your lymph nodes near your like throat, or like here, this area. I'm going to send something to that as well. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Lovely. Sounds good.
There we go.
Marvelous.
Patty, thank you.
Yeah, I hope that helps, Patty. Right.
Starting a fire over there, Jimmie.
Yeah. I've never, but I don't think I've ever been able to do that. I've tried, like starting a fire with rubbing two sticks together, but it doesn't really work.
I tried too, and I tried it with the little rocks. You know how they show you in the TVs where they put the little rocks together, and then they like, the spark comes and stuff with a little twig. That never worked.
No, I've seen like people do it, and they've always had some kind of like firelight or something like that with them to help, you know. And I think, well, that's cheating.
That is cheating. That's not how the Boy Scouts do.
No, yeah, exactly.
You're welcome.
So I suppose it helps if you have like some dry straw or dry twigs, and then the spark may start them off. But yeah, no, all of the sort of the camp and the out and like Bear Grylls and all of that kind of stuff. I've always, as far as I can remember, has always had something to sort of that sparks or that that lights easily than some twigs.
Fine. Zagos, lighters, and matches. You knows what works.
Well, that as well, obviously, but okay. It's always handy.
Well, thank you for being here, Patty. Happy New Year. And I think the last person on the list is Ivy.
Ivy, right.
Hello, Ivy. Oh, Ivy, you have tree guardians coming in? Oh no, Jimmie, you're making me yawn.
Excellent.
Why do I feel like you feel a personal gain from this? Ivy says, "Go with the flow as always, please." All right, sis. So you have tree guardians coming in. It's like a very Mother Nature stepping in kind of vibe going on. I don't know if you started. Sorry, this is channeling coming through. Oh, birds. That would make sense with the trees. Okay. So you have, I don't know if you've started working with or you're going to start working with herbs. I'm seeing like a herbiary. Herbiary? What's an herbiary? I guess that's like is that like a tree house or like a tree? What is that, greenhouse?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Somewhere where you grow herbs, I suppose. That makes sense.
Stop. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm seeing an herbiary or something where like you're growing all these plants and like all these medicinal, like you're like the local medicine woman, and you're growing like like I don't know if you've started studying plants or you're going to start studying plants, but Ivy says greenhouse. You should maybe because I see you growing them, and they're like very specific conditions that they have to grow under, like sunlight, wind, moisture, and herbalist Patty. Thank you. And I'm seeing you do that, and I'm seeing you like grinding stuff with a mortar and pestle, and it's not a past life; it's this one, where you're like the local medicine woman. It seems like it's like a part of because you're making tinctures and you're making tonics and you're giving it to people. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, confirmation. Okay. You're making tinctures and tonics and you're giving it to people, and it's a part of your business, like the business that we've talked about. But they're saying like all these wonderful stuff that I see you doing, it's not that far away. Just it's like a part of you is afraid to start your business or to start this process, Ivy. Oh, okay. So I'm just gonna work on clearing your lower three, but mostly your solar plexus. And I want to like kind of scoop out some old codes and old weed, like
Excuse
this.
me.
And with a little, I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna
It's like a crab.
maybe. But I'm just gonna go ahead and like remove all of that, and yeah, like so we're gonna remove all of that. And I don't know, do you have like some kind of crab in your zodiac sign? We're gonna remove all of that, and I'm just gonna fill it with new codes and give you the kind of push you need. But it feels like it's like on the border. Kind of feels like all you need is that small little push. Like they're showing me like a little bird, and like have you ever seen like a documentary where like the adult bird pushes a baby bird out of the nest and they fall like thousands of feet, sometimes very painfully, and some of them die. But the point in cases, but a lot of them push them out of the nest because they want them to fly and thrive and be independent. And your guides are saying they're trying to do that to you right now. They're like, you are more than capable of flying. You're knowledgeable. You have all the tools that you need. We're here to catch you. Just take the step. And then your guys is like, listen, Linda, if you give us one more excuse, like. Maybe we just write a list down with it, Ivy, because I feel like in the last reading I've told you this as well. Like, I feel like I've mentioned the business in your last reading as well. I don't think I've mentioned the herbiary or the growing plants. And what is that huge plant from Mario Kart? The one that like
Piranha plant.
the piranha plant. What is like? Is that a pitcher plant? There's like carnivorous plants too.
Yeah,
so,
that's like.
I don't know if there's like certain medicinal value to certain carnivorous plants. There's something there, so I would definitely look into that because when I play Mario Kart, they're showing me the thing that plant that goes chomp chomp. So
I suppose.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say that's sort of because Ivy kind of does deer and fish kind of curing, and I guess carnivorous plants would kind of make sense in that respect. It feels like the two would line up. Like if she was growing carnivorous plants, then she would like the other thing that she does with the deer and the fish, they would feed the carnivorous plants, and you could obviously do what you do with the deer and the fish, but you could also harvest the carnivorous plants, and you would always have a supply of food for the plants because of that part of the business.
Yeah, they're showing me the pitcher plant, because there's several, isn't there? There's the pitcher plant that's carnivorous, and then there's the other one, the other one that like literally like chomps on like flies and it closes up on them.
Oh, the Venus flytrap.
The Venus flytrap, that one. Because they're showing me something with the carnivorous plants, Ivy, and they're showing me seaweed. They're like seaweed being pulled out of the ocean, and then some kind of, I don't know how people make seaweed into sheets, but they're showing me making seaweed into sheets, like sheets of seaweed. Like, I don't know if you process seaweed or stuff like that. There's like processed fish that I'm looking at. There's like, she has like a very big business coming up. She has like very expansive.
It's like all of the parts of everything's coming together. First it was sort of the deer, the fish, and then the deer, and then sort of the plants and the herbal side of things is next, and there's kind of learning how they're all going to integrate and kind of feed off one another, I suppose. Pardon the pun, but yeah, I mean, because obviously like all plants and everything, I think, I mean, I don't know this 100% certainly, but I presume all plants, no matter what they are, can be used for benefit. It's just a question of being able to sort of harvest that and harness that. So that makes sense.
Seaweed medicine. So because to me, like flattened out seaweed and sheets reminds me of like sushi and nori. Because I use that to eat when I feel like having poke today. Poke feels excellent. Sorry, side note. But all this like fish talk and like nori talk, I'm like, now I want poke.
I don't know what that is.
So like, you know what sushi is? Like they roll up the sushi, they put the thing and they put it up, or if it's like a different type of sushi where they make it into the rice ball with the sushi on top, depending on if it's like nigiri or if it's the other one, because there's two kinds of ways they make sushi. So the bowl is pretty much like rice or some kind of base in it, and it's a bowl, and they throw sushi, like bits of sushi on top of the rice, and you just eat it like a bowl instead of like putting the sushi pieces in the plate.
Oh, okay. Pokey. I've never heard of that before.
It's so yummy. It's so yummy. You have to try it. Oh my god! I'm gonna send you the link for
poke. It's a Hawaiian word. I didn't know that. Thank you, Trina. And yeah, you can make chips out of seaweed and stuff like that.
Trina says poke is a native Hawaiian word. Oh, okay.
Sounds nice. I like seafood.
But yeah, Ivy, I'm seeing all of that, so I'm working on that for you. We are working on that for you, and yeah. There's something there. There's also seaweed medicine, but Jimmie has to say something. I'm sorry.
Do I?
Go ahead.
Well, what I saw was I saw three tubes. I saw three kind of, and the message I got was to just kind of start. I know you said you weren't sure where to start, and what I felt, Ivy, was to just go out and explore your local area. And kind of start there. I mean, obviously, it's up to you, but I was going to say, don't sort of go in and take anything that's illegal to do so. But if anything's fair game, like plant-wise, and if you're in the forest or the woods or whatever, wherever you are, kind of feel just take a plant or a seed or or a cutting. And kind of start in your local area rather than, rather than sort of order something online. Kind of because I feel like if you just go walking out and about where you are, it's almost like you'll be drawn to the plants to kind of like to start with. You'll know which ones they are. You may not necessarily know what they're called or what they're used for, but you can always find that out afterwards. You can, but just, it's almost like, in a sense, choosing crystals. We're just drawn to certain ones, or choosing anything to that matter. you're just drawn to certain ones. You don't necessarily need to know what they are before you've chosen them. You just know that that's the one for you. And so just go out in your local area, and kind of just feel it. Just allow yourself to be guided, so to speak, to which ones to start with, and then kind of go from there, because your knowledge will grow. And like they're saying, or I'm feeling to, pick three. Don't give yourself too much to start off with, but just pick three, and go from there.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know, bro. I'm just feeling her like being the go-to person for this. Like, obviously it's gonna take you a while to like kind of maneuver through what is this. You can start today. I mean, whenever you feel like it. Just get a book and read about plants, and then make a list, like, and you're like, oh, my business. If you want to create a business, my business, what do I want to do for my business? I want to create a business logo. I want to make a business card. My business card's going to look like this. This is my business name. This is how I'm going to advertise. It doesn't have to be like finalized plans, just like, happy thinking, like part of manifestation, materialization. And you can go ahead and, like, be like, oh, in my business, I'm going to sell this. I'm going to use plants. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use the big chomper plant from Mario Brothers. Like, whatever it is.
Yeah, if you manage to grow the chomper plants from Mario Kart, then let me know, because that would be brilliant.
I thought about it because I've like suddenly been drawn to carnivorous plants, and I was telling my friends, I was like, I went that big chomping plant from like Mario Brothers, and they're like, oh, they have that plant. They have that. There's a movie apparently with a big carnivorous plant that eats people, that grows really big accidentally and eats people. And I was like, that would be really cool if I grew a little pitcher plant, or like the other plant, and it grew really big, and I could put it outside my house, so that way it would eat people that weren't nice, if they tried to come in.
Yeah, it's a good deterrent, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, that's what it feels like. But we just worked on your solar, and you have new codes coming in. You're also going to be not just like this business part, Ivy, but I also feel you're becoming like a local medicine woman and teacher and healer and like all kinds of stuff. Also, I call dibs on fish, on poke, on medicine, on the live carnivorous plants. I call dibs. So,
Ivy's apothecary.
Ivy's apothecary.
That's a good word, Payne. I like it. Right.
Yes, they Little Shop of Horrors. You should watch it, Jimmie.
I don't think I've seen that one. I haven't seen many movies. I'm not really a movie person.
Well, okay.
But if the chance comes, or if I remember, or something like that, then
I'll keep texting you till you watch. That'll be the chance.
Okay.
It'll be the sign that you're looking for.
Yeah. I've just started a new book, actually. I've just started reading The Three Musketeers, because I decided that I really love reading it, but I haven't been doing much of it. But I really like this sort of the adventure stuff, like Don Quixote, and I read Peter Pan and Moby Dick, and all of the sort of the well-known ones, and I just find them I don't know. Yeah, I started to sort of get the more I don't know, the philosophical works like by Dostoevsky and Nietzsche, and I thought I'd love to read stuff like that, but then I thought, but I start them and I think I can't be bothered with this. There's no excitement about it. It's like I don't want to have to be learning all the while. I want some to use my imagination, and so yeah. But anyway, I don't know. That's just a segue. But yeah, hope that helps, Ivy.
I feel that way too, because I have a few books that I read and a few books that I don't, as you can see right here. So
yeah.
I hope that helps, Ivy. Again, remember, this is where you heard it, so dibs. And also, good luck and Happy New Year.
Yeah, Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer. Yeah, they're great books. I love them, but I love reading those.
All I think of when I hear the Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer is that fence, that white fence, the painted white fence.
Yeah. So yeah, those ones, I read those. but yeah, all stuff like that.
Ooh, you got like so we were talking about a bunch of different things, Ivy, but you got like a decent amounts of healings and downloads today. So you might sleep really well, or you might sleep earlier than you think, just FYI.
Cool.
All right.
Right. Well, I think that's it. Thank you so much, Vaishu. The time has flown. I can't believe it's been like nearly 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So,
I guess we were having fun. And you should do that, Patty. You should write for children. I think that'd be a very good idea.
yeah, totally.
And thank you for being here. Thank you, Jimmie, and thank you everyone for coming on today and sharing information.
All right. Thank you all, and hope everyone has a lovely day and a good year.
Yes, wonderful year ahead. We will be seeing you soon. Jimmie has a live coming up, I believe, with you have one coming up on the 6th or something, right?
I got one on Wednesday with Kerry. I got one on Thursday with Thomas, and I got one on Friday with Pamela. So
yep, those lives right there. And then I have one with Pamela next week. So we'll see you then. Until then,
cool.
bye.
Bye everyone. Take care.